You are pausing that video a lot today.
I am trying to repeat his words, but he speaks faster than I can breathe.
Are you trying to shadow a fast news report again?
Yes, and right now I sound like I am arguing with myself in a panic.
That is a stressful way to start the morning.
It is. I need to recover before I try speaking again.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Everyday English Learning, real English for your daily life.
Hi there. I'm Jake.
And I'm Lily. Today is all about shadowing practice and how to do it without losing your mind.
Many people say shadowing is the perfect way to improve, but it just makes me feel slow.
Shadowing means listening to English and repeating it immediately, like a shadow following someone.
But when the audio is moving at full speed, the shadow gets completely lost.
Many people try to copy native speakers exactly, and they just feel foolish or overwhelmed.
You stumble over one word, and suddenly the speaker is 3 sentences ahead of you.
That pattern is exactly what we will fix today. This is shadowing practice without fear.
How does a person actually change the habit?
By slowing down, a slow shadowing session lets you notice rhythm and speak more smoothly.
So the goal is not to sound like a fast radio host.
Not at all. There is no pressure. You will hear useful patterns, a practical routine, and later, our meaning moments.
That feels much safer. Where does the process begin when the audio feels too fast?
It begins with the playback speed, not the volume.
You mean I should actually change the speed of the practice video?
Exactly. The common advice is to shadow native speakers at their normal speed.
Right. The idea is that if you can keep pace with them, you are fluent.
Keep pace means to stay at the exact same speed as someone else.
But I cannot keep pace. If I miss one small word, I freeze completely.
And while you are frozen, the video keeps playing.
Yes, I am still thinking about the word on, and the fast speaker is already starting the next paragraph.
That is not practice. That is just cognitive overload.
Cognitive overload?
It means your brain is trying to do too many difficult things at once. You are listening, remembering, and speaking simultaneously.
That is exactly how I felt this morning. By the 3rd sentence, the audio was just a fast blur of noise.
A blur is something you cannot see or hear clearly.
So the solution is simply to slow the video down to 75% speed.
Or even 50%. You give your brain time to process the shapes of the words.
Okay, but here is my real worry. Real life does not have a half-speed button.
That is very true.
If someone at the coffee shop speaks quickly, I have to understand them at normal speed. Does slow practice actually prepare me for a fast world?
That is the paradox. People assume fast practice builds fast skills.
It sounds logical to me.
But fast practice usually just builds a strong habit of panicking.
Oh, that hits a little. I definitely have a strong habit of panicking.
When you slow down, you finally have time to notice the rhythm. You stop fighting the sentence and start feeling it.
That sounds much more peaceful.
It is. But changing the video speed is only the first step.
What is the second step? Because even at a slower speed, my tongue still gets completely tied.
That is because your mouth is learning a completely new physical movement.
It really is physical. This morning, I was in the kitchen trying to shadow a news anchor.
Let me guess, you still felt tense.
Yes, the video speed was set to 50%. The audio was slow, but my jaw felt completely locked.
You were trying to push the words out with force, instead of just forming them.
Exactly. My mouth would not cooperate. I felt like I was chewing on the words.
Chewing on the words is a great image. That means struggling to pronounce something smoothly, so it sounds heavy or awkward.
I stumbled over the phrase particularly challenging 3 times.
To stumble over means to trip or make a mistake while speaking. What did you do next?
I locked my phone, made coffee, and decided I was just bad at English today.
That is the consequence of expecting perfection. You quit before the real practice actually began.
But if I cannot say the phrase slowly, how will I ever say it quickly?
Through muscle memory, your tongue and lips need time to physically remember the shape of the sounds.
So it is about training the body, not just the brain?
Yes. Think about learning a dance. You do not watch a fast video and immediately perform it at full speed.
Right? You learn one step at a time, very slowly, until your feet know where to go.
Shadowing is the same process. You have to give your mouth permission to learn the dance.
But my instinct is always to push harder. How do I stop doing that?
Here is a reusable sentence pattern. When you freeze, tell yourself, instead of forcing the speed, I will focus on the shape.
Instead of forcing the speed, I will focus on the shape. That removes the pressure.
Yes. You notice where your tongue rests. You notice the breathing.
Okay, I slow the audio down. I let my mouth learn the dance.
But there is a hidden problem. Even a slow 10-minute session can still completely destroy your confidence.
That is a terrible limitation. Why does it still ruin my morning if I am going slowly?
Because you are still using the slow video to test your fluency, instead of training your mouth.
Wait, practice is a test. If I do not grade myself, how do I know I am improving?
You do need to check your accuracy, but there is a huge difference between exploring a sound and performing a script.
Exploring versus performing?
Yes. When you shadow as a performance, you expect perfection. Every mistake feels like a final grade.
Exactly. I stumble on one phrase, and I immediately tell myself my English is terrible today.
But when you shadow as an experiment, a mistake is just useful physical data.
Physical data. So, instead of feeling embarrassed, I just notice what happened mechanically.
Right. You might realize, oh, my tongue needs to rest higher for that consonant, or my breath was too short.
That changes everything. My tongue needs to rest higher is a physical fact. It is not a personal failure.
That is the mature shift. You separate your self-worth from a simple muscle movement.
I hear that. But there is still a practical limitation here, even without the heavy judgment.
What is the limitation?
Even if I treat it like a slow experiment, a 10-minute video is a very long experiment. My brain still gets tired.
That is a very fair objection. Slowing down the audio does not fix a practice session that is simply too long.
Right. After 3 minutes, my focus is completely gone, even at 50% speed.
Which is why you need to choose a manageable chunk.
A manageable chunk means a very small, specific piece of the audio?
Yes. You do not shadow an entire 10-minute news report. You shadow 3 sentences.
Just 3 sentences? That feels almost too easy.
It should feel easy to finish. You want the practice session to end while you still feel capable, not defeated.
Okay, so I lower the video speed, I focus on physical data, and I only shadow a manageable chunk.
And you stop the video before you feel emotionally exhausted.
That sounds like a completely different morning routine. How do I actually organize those steps into a daily plan?
To build your daily plan, you can use a simple 3-step method. I call it listen, shape, and flow.
Listen, shape, and flow. How does that look in the kitchen at 7 in the morning?
Step 1 is listen. You choose a manageable chunk of audio, slow it to 50%, and just listen without speaking.
So I am not shadowing yet. I am just letting the fast blur of noise become clear words.
Yes. Step 2 is shape. You play that same slow audio again, but this time you mouth the words silently.
You mean I move my lips and tongue, but I do not use my voice?
Right. You focus entirely on the physical data. You let your mouth learn the dance without the cognitive overload of producing sound.
I like that. I can notice if I am chewing on the words before anyone even hears me.
Which brings us to step 3, flow. You play the audio a third time, and you finally speak out loud.
Listen, shape, flow. That feels very organized. But what happens if I still stumble over a phrase during the flow step?
That is a common friction point. If you stumble, you do not force the speed. You pause, repeat that specific phrase silently, and retry.
I am fixing the physical shape instead of panicking.
Exactly. Let us try a quick practice moment for the listener right now.
Oh, a live experiment. What do they need to do?
I will say a short sentence. I want you to pause this podcast. Repeat the sentence out loud, and just notice how your mouth moves.
What is the sentence?
The process begins with patience. Try it now. Pause the audio and focus on the shape.
The process begins with patience. Saying it slowly feels much smoother.
Because you are building steady muscle memory. And speaking of memory, we should clearly define the tools we use today.
I am ready. The vocabulary today feels very practical. Let us review it.
It is time to slow down for today's meaning moments.
I need this. The first phrase on my list is keep pace.
Earlier, I said the common advice is to keep pace with native speakers.
Which means trying to stay at the exact same speed as them.
Right. You might use it in daily life by saying, "The lecture was too fast and I could not keep pace."
Or, I walk slowly, so do not feel forced to keep pace with me.
Exactly. Repeat the phrase, keep pace.
Keep pace.
Next is my favorite image from your morning kitchen practice.
You mean chewing on the words?
Yes, you were forcing the sounds, so your pronunciation felt heavy and awkward.
It really felt like chewing tough meat. My mouth was exhausted.
A learner might say, "When I am nervous, I start chewing on my words."
That perfectly describes the physical struggle.
Repeat the phrase, chewing on the words.
Chewing on the words.
Our final phrase solves the exhaustion problem.
A manageable chunk.
A chunk is a piece of something. Manageable means you can handle it without stress.
So, instead of a 10-minute video, I only shadow 3 sentences.
Yes, you can apply this to anything. I broke the project into manageable chunks.
That feels much less intimidating.
Repeat the phrase, manageable chunk.
Manageable chunk.
It is time for Say It Better. Let me upgrade 2 common practice sentences.
What is the first basic sentence?
My speaking is too slow.
That is a very common complaint, but it feels a little defeated.
A more useful version is, I am focusing on clarity before speed.
I am focusing on clarity before speed. That sounds like a deliberate choice, not a failure.
Exactly. Basic sentence 2 is, I made a mistake again.
How can that one improve?
I noticed where my mouth hesitated.
Oh, I like that. I noticed where my mouth hesitated is physical data, not judgment.
Now it is time for a short practice moment.
What is the challenge today?
Choose one of these upgraded sentences and say it out loud.
You can say, I am focusing on clarity before speed.
Or you can say, I noticed where my mouth hesitated.
Just say one out loud and notice the shape of the words.
You will find that these phrases change how your brain reacts to friction.
I actually feel ready to try that news video again tomorrow morning.
So, when you stand in the kitchen tomorrow morning with your coffee, what is the actual plan?
I am going to lower the video speed immediately. I will pick just 3 sentences and I will let my mouth slowly learn the dance.
That is the perfect shift. You are moving away from cognitive overload and returning to physical reality.
Yes, no more trying to keep pace with a fast news anchor on the first try.
And definitely no more chewing on the words until your jaw aches.
Exactly. If my tongue gets tied, I will remember that I am just collecting physical data. It is an experiment, not a final test.
That makes the daily routine safe again. For the listener, your small action this week is to find one manageable chunk of audio.
It could be a short YouTube video, a news clip, or even one sentence from this podcast.
Slow the playback speed down to 50% and practice the listen, shape, and flow method. Focus on clarity before speed.
We would love to know how that experiment feels for you. In the comments, tell us, what specific type of audio are you planning to shadow next?
Are you choosing a movie scene, a presentation, or an interview? Let us know. And if this episode helped you breathe a little easier today, please subscribe.
Language practice really does not have to be a stressful morning race.
It does not. A strong voice is built slowly. Thank you for spending a quiet moment with Everyday English Learning. I'm Lily.
And I'm Jake.
Take care, and we will talk again soon.
Give yourself permission to go slow and enjoy the rhythm.